So what do you do when work gets real slow? Whether like they cut your hours, or you're doing gig work and there's no work coming in, or you have your own operation and there's no new customers. Simple. What else you got going on? What's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Albert Lopez. It's a great opportunity to ask yourself, what else do you got going on? First of all, there's steps to that too. What do I mean by what else do you got going on? Like, yeah, what are you building? What are you building besides work? Are you working on yourself? Are you working on a side project? What do you got going on? Because that could happen to anyone. A lot of people think, oh, no, I'm stable. I got a stable job, whatever. And yeah, true. Some jobs never get slow. It's either just normal or extra work. And if that's your thing and you plan to stay there till the end and you're good to go, and that makes you feel you're the version of you that you respect and admire, and you have everything going for you, then hats off. I'm talking to the folks where it's not like that. I've been like that. I've been like that right now. But it helps you understand what else you got going on. Whether, like I said, and it doesn't have to be, well, I don't want to start my own business. I don't want another job. I like my job. I like what I do. I just need something to do while it's busy, till it gets busy again. But I'm like, what's typically the anxiety? I don't have enough money. I'll get to that in a second. First of all, you have to change your attitude. You have to change the way you feel about everything. Change the way you look at things, and the things that you look at change. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. If you whine and complain on one thing, you're going to whine and complain about everything. Excuse me. So in this case, you got to stop being a whiner and a complainer. Whining and complaining comes out of a place of fear. You're scared. You have no faith. Faith is the same thing as saying you have no love. You have no confidence. You have no trust. So if you raise that, that's actually your frequency, your energy, your personal rate of vibration. I call it your attitude. A little bit more common word, right? So if you raise your attitude, you're going to raise who you are, and you're going to attract different ideas. So if you're coming out of a place of being scared, oh, I'm running out of money. It's like, well, hold on. This is a good time to use this as an opportunity, because I watched Albert's video. It created curiosity, and he said that curiosity mixed together with my courage, I could get the snowball going to start bettering my life. This is the whole point of mindset. Mindset starts your journey in personal development, becoming the version of you that you respect and admire, living on purpose. So here we go. Let's raise our attitude. How do we do that? By being grateful. Any kind of sacrifice, such as cutting back your food, cutting back your sleep, exercising. And I'm waiting for my wife and my mom to come out of a doctor's appointment. And what's the other? Oh, like I said, gratitude. Or being grateful. Doing a list of things that you're grateful for. I personally love the exercise. Go for a quick walk, do some burpees, do some push-ups with the intention to raise your attitude. Your attitude will raise. You'll feel better. It's like, okay, cool. Now I have time. I cut my hours. There's no work coming in. What else do I got going on? You can start working on yourself. You can start thinking about that next business that you're going to do. You're going to start thinking about that other way of bringing in income. You could start, Albert, but the whole money thing, I don't have no money right now. This could be a good opportunity for you to start thinking about, how can I manage my money better? So when this happens, because everything's in a cycle, I don't trip. You're already at a high vibration. You start thinking like that, you already have a better attitude. Instead of being scared and saying, oh, it's so busy, what am I going to do? It sucks, this is over, I don't even know what I'm going to do, whining and complaining. What's going to happen? Like attracts like. You're whining and complaining, you're going to attract more of these whining and complaining situations. All you're going to see is negative whining, complaining type of situations. That's your filter. When you raise your attitude and you start thinking of better possibilities, you start seeing the world through a different lens, because you're at a higher attitude, you're at a higher vibration. Your thoughts are going to get higher. Your feelings are going to get higher, and your actions are going to get higher. So you raise your attitude, you feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go with this. What's going on here? That's you raising your attitude. So your thoughts are gonna change. I'm gonna do that thing that Albert told me. I feel good doing that. I feel good talking about my pain point, money. That's your feelings. You feel good about it. You have this thing of like, maybe. That's because you're no longer in a place of fear. You're moving up the scale, higher vibration. Now you have possibility, a little faith, a little bit more love, a little bit more confidence. Why? Because you're doing the work. You're doing the discipline. Who wants to just go for a walk right now? I'm worried about work. I'm worried about money. What do you want me to go for a walk for? Because that's how you raise your attitude. You raise your frequency when you put the intention behind it. That took discipline. Nobody wants to do it. Let's stay in my car. It's hot outside. It's cold. It's raining. So you build discipline, you earn confidence. Confidence, again, same thing as love, same thing as faith, same thing as trust. So now you're trusting that this is a possibility. So now, like I said, it goes thoughts, feelings, now your actions. Maybe I'll ask Mr. Albert Lopez about how to fix my finances, how to save a little bit more money. Remember, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. I know a few people that make a bunch of money. They're still broke and in debt. Then you got people like, man, you made minimum wage all your life or whatever, and you got a bag, and your pad's paid off, right? And it wasn't luck, and it wasn't. They know how to manage their coin. So, anyways, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And of course, once you make more and you know how to keep more and move it and invest it and turn it into little workers, then you're on the right path. That's for another video. Or if you have a question, drop it in the comments. So now you have a different attitude. What am I building there? You're building your finances. You're bettering your finances. So next time it gets slow like this, because it'll pick up, you'll have a bag to work with. I'm gonna go skim off this bag a little bit, and then as soon as it gets picked up again, I'm gonna replenish it. I'm not gonna spend the bag, of course, but this is kind of like a little, we'll call this the slow week fund. So all the bills are gonna get paid. I'm still gonna have my entertainment. I'm still gonna be able to buy groceries. I'm still gonna pay the bills. Everything's gonna get done. Have like a 3 months worth of income coming in that bag. Great, now you have a good attitude. 3 months, what are you talking about? I barely make enough. Again, goes back to the attitude that you have. Because you have a low negative attitude, because you're always bitching, whining, and complaining, everything's gonna match that. Your bank accounts, your relationships, the way your physique looks, the way your body looks, your wardrobe. Maybe one's gonna be a little bit better than the other, but for the most part, if you have a sucky attitude, your surroundings are gonna be sucky. Because it goes thoughts, feelings, actions, habits, and character. And habits and character create your real world, your real life. You start changing your attitude, thoughts are gonna go up, feelings are gonna go up, actions are gonna go up. So your habits and character are also gonna go up. So your reality is gonna go up. Why? Because you're vibing at a higher frequency, you have a better attitude, and like attracts like. You're gonna start attracting better things. So now you have a higher attitude, you're attracting your better finances because you're paying attention to them. Now, instead of seeing it as, dang, it's crummy, it's slow, I'm taking this time to manage my money. I'm gonna take this time to manage. Oh, dang, look it, I have a high attitude. I have a different lens now. Now I'm thinking possibilities of, man, maybe I do want to start that side gig. Maybe I do want to start that side hustle. Maybe I do want to try that other app. Maybe I do want to start that YouTube channel. Maybe I do want to start, that one, doing, print on demand. That seems like something that's interesting to me. You have to love it, right? You have to think it's cool. Not necessarily your passion, because that takes longer to make money with, but just something that you could do like right now to get another little stream. So like, next thing you know, because you have a higher attitude, you're going to attract a good idea. You're going to attract a good not possibility. We'll say possibility. You're going to attract a good possibility of making more money. Opportunity, sorry, there you go. You're going to attract a good opportunity. You're going to snag it because you're not in whiny, bitchy, complaining state. You're now in hopeful, loving, confident state. You're going to be like, yeah, let me try that. Oh my goodness, it worked. Maybe I'll go flip things. Maybe I'll spend the weekend and I'll go to yard sales and pick up not a bunch of stuff. I'm not feeling garage. Maybe I'll start buying, something that I could really like for sure, triple, quadruple my money on. And it's gonna cost me a little bit, but because I'm managing my money, I could turn 10 bucks into 30 and then use those as capital to buy more stuff. I could do that on the side. And now since I'm managing my money, I'll use that money to create that 3-month emergency bag. See how all this is just better because you're at a higher state of mind. You have a higher mindset. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but if you wanted to do a little bit of mindset coaching with me, click the link in the description. Anyways, once you change your mindset, you can start changing everything that you typically would see as negative. If you see it as like, oh, it's slow and nothing's going on, well, what do you have going on? You can start working on your physique. You can start working like, hey, you know what? Albert talks about this exercise, diet, and wake-up time. It exercises every day. Well, you know what? I'm going to start that. While it's slow, I'm going to walk up and down the parking lot. Or since I'm getting off early, I'm going to stop by the park and just walk a few laps, 1 lap. It talks about wake up. Man, I'll wake up a little bit early. I'll try it. That's the whole diet macro thing. He did some videos about macro nutrition. Let me watch them. Let me ask a question in the comments below. What do you mean? How do you diet? A simple way to diet. A simple way to start exercising. Simple way to start exercising. Go for a walk. That's exercising. That's training. Consider yourself an athlete because you are now training daily. A dedicated walk to elevate your attitude. How can I start eating, start on a good nutrition plan? Well, you can start researching how to track your macros, which is really simple. But until then, take one spoonful off your plate of all the items. If you have rice, beans, and meat, or some sort of spaghetti or whatever, I don't know, just take one spoonful off. Eat less. Even if you go for seconds, go for seconds. But once you go for seconds, one spoonful off every item. I would throw mine away for discipline because it'd break my heart to throw it away. And it would teach me, andale tragon, why are you putting so much on your plate? Like, damn, that was a lot. But why'd you throw it away? Isn't that wasting food? No, it's just returning it back to the planet. Because putting back on the pot was giving me the idea of I'll just eat it later. By throwing it away, it started training me you would serve yourself that much, huh? Like, damn. Mentally, it started changing who I was. There you go. A simple way to start dieting. Eat less. What if I usually get thirds? Cool. Serve yourself thirds. One spoonful off each item. There's a simple way to start dieting. You could do that. Start learning a little bit about nutrition. Start with that. While work is slow. See what I'm saying? What are you building on top of what you're doing for work? Work gets busy again, but you've created new what? New habits. Why? Remember, you go backwards. Habits create your reality. Your reality's getting better. Clothes is gonna start fitting a little bit better. Oh, the exercise. Simple way to start exercising. Go hit a lap at the parking lot if you don't have a parking lot. You don't have to go get a gym membership. You don't have to go do weights. That'll come later. You want to create these close goals that you could start within just a few weeks, so you can start seeing results. And it gets you excited. It gets you like, hey, I achieved that. What are you building? Are you building yourself, which is the most important thing, this vessel? Start with your mindset, because anything outside the mindset is still on the outside. The outside is just a representation of what's going inside. The best advice I could give you, start working on the inside. Mindset. In here and in here. Elevate your attitude so you can have higher thoughts, higher feelings, higher actions. You change your character and your habits, your reality will start changing. Real quick. Not that we're looking for time because we're not in charge of that. That's up to a higher power, source of creation, the universe, God. So if you start changing the inside, your reality outside will change. So if you're seeing work as slow as a negative, you're just in a low vibing, negative, fearful vibration, energy, personal rate of vibration, attitude. That's where you start. It should just be like a red flag. You thought you came in here to how to make the app work better. Hacks to make the app. Go stand here. Go stand closer to the blue circle. Go stand here. I mean, you can if you're chasing money, but remember, whatever you chase runs. If you become a more valuable person, if you raise your vibration and you raise your attitude, and everything else after that starts also elevating automatically, you become rare. You start bringing value to the table instead of just hunger. You bring value. You become valuable. Things that are rare are valuable. So now you're valuable. So what are you going to attract? Valuable opportunities, valuable things. You won't have to chase money. Money will start coming to you in different types of opportunities. Better health, better relationships, better finances. Don't look at it as work is slow. Look at it as what's my attitude towards it? It's a bad attitude, low attitude. Don't even see it as good or bad. It's a low attitude. Get to work on that attitude. Any questions, hit me up in the comments. Hit the like so you can come back and comment after you see this working once you apply it. And also check if you're subscribed. If you're not, hit the subscribe button.